those make it. Okay, so let's start. So we're going to come down to the mat and come into semi-supine. So just bend your knees and allow yourself to settle into your mat. Just have your hands alongside your body. You can have the palms up or down, it doesn't matter, or just staying here for a few moments just to settle and to breathe. But have a little wriggle on the mat and get yourself comfortable. So particularly with your lower back. So maybe tilt your pelvis a few times and just allow it to find that neutral position. And just check that your nose is in line with your belly button. Just lifting your head slightly, tilting the chin, and then placing the back of the head back down on the mat. So you've got that little bit of length in the neck. And just close your eyes for a few moments and take some breaths. In through the nose. And as it comes out through the mouth, just sigh it out. Just letting go of any tension. Just do 2 more of those. Noticing how you let go with that out breath. Just releasing any tension. And as you lie there, I'll just explain something that Hayley focused on particularly in this workshop, was that when we're doing a lot of our yoga moves, our yoga asanas, we tend to open our hips to the side quite a lot. We open them out in a abduction. We flex forward or extend back. We don't do very much in the way of internal movements of the hip and adduction. So that's something that we're going to explore a little bit before we get properly into our practice, because it does make a real difference. And I notice myself, because I've got a tight right hip, that when I do these exercises and I focus more on the internal, it seems to help the hip to move a little bit more, and I don't notice that tightness so much. So there must be something in it. So keep in this semi-supine. Just get your hands and rub them together, and we're going to really get some heat. So rubbing them tightly together, make sure that you can feel the heat in the hands. And now we're going to place them on our hips and just towards the groin. Just give yourself a little bit of a massage here. So rub your hands along the insides of the groin and around the outside of the hip, just using that extra little bit of heat that we generated. And it feels good just to give the hips a little bit of a warm up with the hands. Okay, so now we're going to explore our hip movement, see how it feels today. So take your feet so that they're as wide as the mat. Your hands can just rest out to the side, and just drop your right knee in towards your left leg. So it's an internal rotation, and then bring it back upright, and then drop the left knee in towards the right, dropping towards the right foot. So just do that a few times, just exploring how the hips are feeling. So just gently moving from side to side. This is a definite internal rotation or adduction of the hip muscles. So hips will move in 4 different ways, 4 directions, and we'll we'll be doing a lot of that today. And we do it anyway without even realizing. So, okay, so next time you bring your left knee in, make that the last one and keep your knees pointing up, and then slide the legs away. And then take in your right toes, drop them down towards the left foot. So just make it as if it's a foot movement. So you're dropping the toes towards the left, and you'll notice how that movement goes all the way up the legs, all the way to the hip. And then take the toes back up right, and then drop the toes out to the right. So now we're doing an abduction, that's right. Yes, so this is the external rotation. So just do that a few times with the right leg. So it's like I'm grabbing hold of your foot, keeping the foot strong, and I'm just taking the little toe out to the right and the big toe in towards the left. So in towards your left foot. So it's like I'm just twisting the whole of the femur in the hip socket. Okay, so bring the toes back upright. Now do the same on the left. So the left toes come towards the right heel, and then take it back up and then send it towards the left. So if you just think foot, just think it's my foot that's doing the movement, then you realize how much of a connection there is between your feet and your hips. Because we're just moving the ankle really, and then that's sending the movement all the way up the legs. Well done. Okay. So just bring your toes back so that they're upright, and then bring your knees up and over the chest and come into Apanasana. Just give yourself a little hug. And then send the legs away. So I haven't mentioned your breathing yet, but each time we bring the knees in towards us, you can breathe in and you can breathe out as you release. And as you send the knees out or the feet out to the side, you breathe in and you can breathe out as you try to send them inwards. But I want you to focus a bit more on the movement at the moment. So take your feet as wide as the mat, and this time send both little toes out to the side, so like Charlie Chaplin, and then bring both big toes in to meet each other. So we're doing both legs at the same time. And while you're doing that, you can remember to take a few deep breaths, and you can just rotate your neck. So let's just warm up the neck and into the shoulders as we're doing that movement. Brilliant. Okay. So bring your toes so that they're pointing up to the ceiling once more. Take a breath in and hug your knees up and over your chest. And just have a little massage. And just notice the hips feeling a little bit more awake. And then take your hands to the backs of your thighs and take in a few breaths and a few rolls. Massage your back on the mat and bring yourself up. Well done. So coming into Dandasana, so sitting here, having your feet strong, your toes pointing up to the ceiling, and take your hands just behind you. So you're leaning back into the hands and taking your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. We're going to do that same movement. So take a breath in, drop the right little toe to the side, breathe out and drop the right big toe to the left. So you really feel it in the hip. I think it's noticeable how different it feels when you sat up. You should be feeling it here in the just into the right of the hip. It gets deep into the piriformis muscle. as we do that. So now let's do the other side. So left toes in, and then left little toe out. So internal and external rotation. So it's two of the movements that the hip does. And then when we drew our knees up towards our chest, we did a flexion. So we're bringing the muscles up closer. And then when we stand up and do like a mini back bend, that's more of an extension of the hips. Or if we were doing like camel, for example, that would be an extension of the hips, or bridge pose, or wheel, if any of us can get into that. Okay, so come back to lying on the mat. And just finish off this little warm up. And we're going to take our hands out wide, take your feet wide, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, bring both toes together. So big toes are coming together, and wrap your arms around your body. And then take a breath in, open the arms all the way out, and open the feet all the way out as well. And then breathing out as you cross the arms, cross them in the other direction, and touch the toes together. So just do a few of these. It's just quite interesting. It starts to warm up your shoulders and your chest, and also we're still working on those hips. And then the next time you breathe in, take your hands into a cactus position. Toes are out wide, and then toes come back together, wrap the hands around the body. And then go into cactus. And then wrap the hands around the body once more. We'll just do one more of those. Cactus, breathing in, breathing out, wrapping the arms, touching the toes. Take your hands alongside your body and take a breath in and draw the knees up and over the chest. Just hugging them in tight, so tight flexion of the hips. Well done. So we're going to need the strap now. So put your feet down on the mat in semi-supine. And take the strap, draw your right knee towards you and place the strap on the sole of the foot. So the right knee is quite bent, the left knee is still bent on the floor where it was in semi-supine. And with your strap, just rub it back and forth along the middle of the foot. It feels nice, and it just starts to activate that foot and sending messages all the way down the leg. And we got all these reflexology points anyway in the foot. So this is a nice little exercise to do, and I don't know why we've not done it before. It's just lovely. So, okay. So take a breath in and draw the right knee towards your chest. And then as you breathe out, extend the heel up to the ceiling. So do that a few times with your breath, bringing the knee in towards the chest. It slightly goes to the right as it tries to drop towards your right armpit, and then breathe out and extend. So once more, in and then extend. Well done. So now holding the strap with both hands, we're going to make a big circle with this foot, but we'll start slow, first of all. So just allowing that leg to come into a circle, and you're supporting it with your right hand, holding the strap. And you can make that circle a bit bigger each time you do it. So really getting into the hip socket. And maybe The toes will go out towards the mat and then up to the ceiling, over the leg, and sweeping it around. So change the direction of that circle, sweeping it in the other direction. Well done. So now take your right leg up to the ceiling, slide the left leg away, swap hands. So your right hand is holding the strap and take your left hand is holding the strap. Right hand is out to the side and just see if you can drop your right leg over towards the left. So focusing on keeping your shoulders on the mat and maybe your gaze can go to your right hand. Just hold in here for a moment and think about that left leg. Keep it strong. So extend the left heel away. And then breathing in, bring the right leg back upright, hug it into the chest, release the strap, and then bring both knees into the chest. And now send both legs out onto the mat. And just notice, is your right leg longer than your left leg? Feels like that, doesn't it? So let's hug the left knee into the chest and then put the strap on the bottom of the left foot. Send the heel up to the ceiling and just rub the sole of the left foot. So moving the strap back and forth. Warm up that foot, sending all those messages down the nerve endings and down into the foot. And this is good for releasing the fascia on the sole of the foot as well. And then holding the strap with your left hand, we're going to bring the left knee towards the left armpit and then extend it away. So bringing it in as you breathe in, sending it away as you breathe out. In as you breathe in, breathe out, send it away. And then we're going to start to make some circles, so small circles to start with. Just waking up that hip. And then make the circle bigger, as big as is good for you. Oh, and I should have said, keep your right knee bent at this point. Doesn't matter too much. Okay. And then change the direction. Sweeping the leg all the way around. This feels good, doesn't it? In the hip, it's good when you've got the support of the strap. And then bringing the leg back upright. We're going to slide the right leg away this time. Keep the leg strong so the right toes point to the ceiling. Swap hands on the strap. So your right hand is on the strap. Left hand out to the side in a T shape. And breathe out as you drop the left toes towards the right. You can gaze to your left hand if that feels good for you. Just take a few breaths here. And then breathing in, bring the leg back upright and bend the knee. Release the strap. And bring both knees up and over the chest. Just have a little roll. Here, just release. And then slide both legs away. So hopefully you're back in balance now, both legs the same length. Just bend your knees and place your feet as wide as the mat. Have your hands out to the side in a T shape. Take a breath in As you breathe out, drop the right knee down to the mat towards the left toes. Just notice if that feels much freer. And then bring the knee back upright as you breathe in. Breathe out, drop the left knee. Did I say left last time? I meant right. We're just dropping both knees one at a time in towards the opposite foot, just so that you can test that internal rotation and notice how good it feels. Well done. So bring the knees up and over the chest, and then have a little roll. Ease out the spine and slide the legs away. And we're going to roll over onto our stomach. Put your hands alongside your chest. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, pressing up into all fours. So hopefully your hips just have a little bit of movement here. You're feeling good. And you notice just those few movements make such a difference to freeing up the hips. So let's put it to the test. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, toes into the mat. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift your knees and your hips, come to downward facing dog. Just walk the feet, one, then the other. Ease into your down dog. Drop the head through the arms, keeping the ears in line with your upper arms, and just feel that you're placing your lower ribs on the tops of your thighs. And then send both heels towards the mat. Just take a breath. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. On your next inhalation, just walk your feet slowly towards your hands. Come into Uttanasana, forward fold. Just dropping the head towards the mat. Have some softness in the knees. Taking a breath in as you slide your hands up to your shins. Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. So try and find a nice flat back from the crown of the head all the way to the hips. Breathe in. Breathing out slowly, slowly. Bring your, bring yourself up to Tadasana. Just standing here. Nice and strong mountain pose. Relax your shoulders, find some softness in the knees. Standing up straight and tall. Just noticing if you can feel that energy flowing in the legs from those movements we did down on the mat. Okay, let's do a nice flow. So standing up straight and tall. Taking a breath in as you reach your hands out wide, up and overhead. Take your gaze to your palms. Excuse me. As you breathe out, take your hands out wide and dive all the way down to the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Find some softness in the knees. Planting your hands or your fingertips on the mat. Drop the crown of the head. Breathing in, slide your hands up to your shins. Half forward fold. Gazing down at the mat, finding that flat back. Breathing out back into Uttanasana, forward fold. So this is a hip flexion. And then plant your hands and step or jump back into plank. So we're in plank pose, hands under shoulders. Spread those fingertips wide, keeping that balance. You can come down onto your forearms as well if this is too much, or you can come onto your knees. And then take a breath in and just lift your right toes away from the mat, just a couple of inches. Breathing out, place them back down. Breathe in, lift your left toes away from the mat. Feel the core engaging. Breathing out, placing them back. Take a breath in. Breathe out, knees to the mat. Cross your feet at the ankles. Bend the elbows and lower yourself down to the mat. Release the feet. Take a breath in. Breathing out, coming into Cobra, Bhujangasana. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Just take a breath here. Breathing out, toes into the mat, lifting your hips, downward facing dog. Reposition your feet. Use it as your resting pose. Take a breath here. And then breathing in, pressing the left foot into the mat. Breathe out, right leg floats into the air, three-legged dog. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, bend your right knee, drop the right heel over towards your left hip. So opening out through that side, you're gazing under your right arm. Nice hip opener. Breathe in, realign the hip. Breathe out, step the right foot up to meet the right hand, coming into the lunge position. So just hold this position for one breath. And then breathe out as you drop the left knee. So you're going to take your right foot out to the side of the mat, make a bit of space. Hands on the inside of your front foot and just move forward and back. Coming into lizard pose. So just moving forwards and back through the hips. And then the next time you come forward, just hold it here. And maybe you can drop to the forearms. Or if you've got a block there, you could put a block next to your foot and just place your forearms on the block. So this is a real deep stretch of that groin on the right hand side and getting into the hip. Lizard pose. Just take a few breaths here. And then breathing in, putting your hands back on the mat. Coming up onto the back toes, make a bit of space. Breathing out, stepping back into downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. And then breathe in as you slowly walk your feet back to your hands. You're back in Uttanasana, forward fold. Take a breath in as you take your hands out wide and slowly, slowly, slowly bring yourself up. Reach your hands up and overhead. Hands to the heart center. Everyone okay? Yeah, good. So just letting everything settle. We did one side, so we need to move to the other. Taking one more deep breath here. And then we'll go again. Take a breath in, hands out wide, reach up and overhead. Gaze to your palms. Breathing out, hands out wide, diving down to the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Breathing in, hands to the shins. Find that half fold, fold. Nice flat back. Send the crown of the head forward. Breathing out, hands to the mat. Uttanasana. Bend your knees enough so you can plant your hands and step or jump back to plank. So finding this plank, you might need to reposition your hands, spread your fingers wide, take a breath in, lift your left toes just a few inches away from the mat. Breathe out and release. Breathe in, right toes. Breathe out and release. Breathe in. Breathe out, knees to the mat, cross your feet at the ankles, bend the elbows as you lower to the mat, release the feet. Take a breath in, breathe out. Bhujangasana, cobra pose, or you've got an option to come up into up dog. Take a breath here. Breathe out as you roll over the toes, downward facing dog. So this is when down dog really does feel like a resting pose. But allow yourself to find your breath. And then taking a breath in as you press your right foot into the mat, release left leg, three-legged dog. Breathe in, breathe out, bend the left knee, opening out that left hip as you drop the left heel towards your right hip. Gazing under your left arm. Breathe in, realign your legs and breathe out and sweep that left leg forward. Coming in to this lunge position. Just take a breath here and then drop the right knee. And then reposition that left foot, just slide it out to the side of the mat. Hands to the inside of your left foot and just move forward and back. Just as much as feels good for you. Easing into those hips. So as you go forward, you're getting that lovely stretch on the right hip. As you sink back, we're stretching the left hip back and working into the hamstrings. And then you've got the option when you come forward to just hold it here or come down onto the forearms. The deeper stretch. Just hold for a few breaths or have your block in front of you or a blanket, anything to lift you a little higher from the mat. And then placing your hands back on the mat, sitting back a little bit, lift the right knee to make some space, step back, downward facing dog. Drop your knees to the mat, take your knees wide, toes together, sink back. Yes, I have given you a child's pose. At last, they all cry. So just take a few breaths in child's. Releasing your forehead to the mat. And then breathing in as you come back to all fours, realign your knees, toes into the mat. Take a breath out as you lift your knees, come back to downward facing dog. And then slowly walk your feet all the way back to your hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. Breathing in, sweeping the hands out wide. Coming up. reaching the hands up towards the ceiling, and then hands to the heart center. Back into Tadasana. So maybe you can feel your heart beating under your chest, in your chest, under your thumbs. Just allow it to settle and release the hands. Well done. So we're going to do a little balance before we finish. So we need our strap again. So let's just make sure we're completely settled before we attempt to do the balance. So standing up, straight and tall, feeling the soles of the feet, connecting to the mat, have some softness in your knees, relax your shoulders, slight engagement of your tummy muscles, just keeping your back strong. And then breathing in as you lift your right knee towards your chest. And you're just going to place the strap under the right foot. So find your drishti, find your point of focus. And then take a breath in. And as you breathe out, extend the leg out in front of you. So you're using your strap to hold the leg in that strong, extended position. Now, if you're very flexible, you could hold your feet with your hands, but what will happen is you'll round over. So I would rather you stay upright. See the difference? Keep a nice, strong spine. So just use the strap to help you to do it. You can also go to a wall, show you here, and you're close enough to the wall, the same length as your leg, and you can put your leg on the wall. And that will give you the same feeling if you find it too much to be holding the strap. So focus on nice, long, straight spine, relax the shoulders, softness in that standing leg. So you can stay here for a few more breaths. So if you want a bit more, take your left hand strap, release the right hand all the way behind you. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. And slowly turn your head towards your right hand. How are we doing? Brilliant. Okay, keep trying. And then slowly bring your hand back. Bend your knee, release the foot to the mat. Just have a little wiggle here, ease out any tension, roll through the shoulders. And then we've got the other one to do, so you can put the strap under the foot ready. Stand up straight and tall. Turn around this time. And when you're ready, bend the left knee. Find your drishti. Extend the left leg out in front of you. So we're really holding tight onto this strap. We're working into that left hip. You can feel the femur coming back towards the hip socket. Oops. Keep your drishti. Make sure you're not holding tension in your shoulders. So get comfortable in your pose. And then taking a breath in, if you want to, you can swap the strap to the right hand, release the left hand back. So you're opening out the left chest, and then slowly, slowly turn the head. Well done. Brilliant. And then release. Have a little wiggle. Do whatever feels good. Oh, I hope those hips are feeling good. You can have a little hula hoop with the hips. And then take your feet wide. We're going to sink down to the mat into Malasana, to a deep squat. So hands together at the heart center. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, just bend in the knees, sitting down into those well lubricated hips. And maybe have a little rock from side to side. Brilliant. And now very elegantly, just release your hands and sit your hips down onto the mat. Well done. That's it. So let's come back to semi-supine and take your feet as wide as the mat. Your hands just lying in a gentle V. And let's just test how our hips are feeling from all that work that we just did. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, drop the right knee towards the left ankle. Oh, is it going much further? Breathe in, knee comes up to the ceiling. Breathe out, left knee to the right ankle. Well, mine definitely feels a lot freer and the knee is coming down towards the mat. I hope you're feeling the same. So try again on both sides. Right knee down. And then switch to the left knee. So internal rotation of the knees. So back into semi-supine. Bring the feet together and the knees together. Just check that your spine is comfortable on the mat. And then take a breath in. And as you breathe out, open the knees out into Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of the feet together. So hopefully, again, that feels nice and free in the hip area. Just take a few breaths here. And then slide your hands to the outside of your thighs. Help your knees back together. Slide your legs away and set yourself up for Shavasana. So if you want your layers or your blankets, just grab them now. I'm just going to leave you in your Shavasana in a few moments. So I'm hoping that you're all feeling good from those hip openings and stretches and just learning a little bit more about the way that our hips move. Brilliant. So lie out on your mat. Take a few deep breaths in through the nose and sigh them out through the mouth, as we did at the beginning. Let go. No tension in the body. Taking a few moments to scan through the body from the top of the head, over the face and the shoulders, releasing as you go. Down your hands to your fingers, down your spine, feel it connecting with the mat. And then the hips. Let the hips drop open. And feeling that relaxation traveling down your legs to your feet. Just letting your toes drop out to the side. Feeling the hips relax a little bit more. So I'll leave you here with a little reading. I'll say namaste and thank you for joining me. So our reading today is called The Goal of Yoga. The yoga pose is not the goal. Becoming flexible or standing on your hands is not the goal. The goal is to create space where you were once stuck, to unveil layers of protection you've built around your heart, to appreciate your body and become aware of the mind and the noise it creates, to make peace with who you are. The goal is to love, well, you. Shift your focus and your heart will grow.